Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, take 2. I just narrated this whole video and then realized I didn't hit record, so that was fun. And it's weird because when you play, or when you're talking over a video, at least for me, when you're talking over a video the first time, it's a lot easier to sort of fill the time, you know, and I normally do these in one take if you can't tell. And it's just kind of easy when I don't expect when I don't really know what I'm going to say. It's a lot easier to fill up the whole time of the video, but when I know what's going to happen in the video and I know what I'm going to say, then I tend to say it a lot quicker, and then I end up having more dead spaces. So we'll see if I can avoid that. In other words, let's see if I can stall just as well in this video as I do in the normal ones. So this is going to be one of the strange sort of intermission levels where we spend a lot of time not actually in a level, we're out in the overworld, and near the end, maybe about the later half of the video, we actually enter the level itself. So here, of course, we have to head on back to Dagobah, and we want to go into, what's his name, Yoda's hut. But first, we're going to take a quick look at the upgrade menu, something I have not shown very much, but I think every now and then I probably should. So there's a ton of upgrades that we get to spend our studs and our kyber bricks on. And the collectible detector is basically your built-in video game walkthrough for finding all the collectibles, but the other useful ones are going to be extra health and the stud magnet. And also remember that most of them can be upgraded 3 times, so don't think that you're done just because you bought one upgrade. And once we get inside of here, we can put R2 on a tiny stool and then use the force to move him into the circle that will let us talk to Yoda, who of course dies. And then we need to head on back to the X-Wings and jump on out of here and leave, because now we have to head on back to Endor. And if we take a look at the map, we're going to travel here to Endor space. And as the cutscene here begins, we're going to notice that kyber brick in the background taunting us. So pick that up first when you get here if you don't want to miss that. And once we travel through space for a little bit here, not gonna do a whole lot in space. There is quite a lot to do in space, but we're gonna continue the story. So we're gonna head on here to Home 1 and head on into the, I guess this would be our rebel ship. And then we need to head to the command room. So this kind of felt like they just wanted to lengthen the game a bit because there's not really a whole lot going on from now until we actually leave the hangar. So there's going to be terminals that we can call down the ships that we've bought, if you've bought any. And that's something that I think I end up doing later. I don't buy a whole lot of ships during the walkthrough, but there are all kinds of ships that we get to buy and fly with in this game. And the space sections are actually pretty fun. And then R2's going to have to keep up, come on slow brother, and then go to the terminal and turn it on so we can actually get through the doorway. And then we are yet again going to follow the waypoints through the narrow halls until we get to the command center. And once that cutscene's over, we will get a new unlocked version of Han Solo, I believe. And then we need to walk back, yep, right there, Han Solo Endor. And then we need to walk back through the narrow hallways and get a little bit confused by the waypoint beam like I did there. And the beam is moving through the doorway, but you need to keep going down the hallway, so don't go the way that the guy on the left did. Take a right here and then keep going, which is funny that I got lost with these waypoints every 5 seconds, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. And once we're inside the hangar, I don't actually think that we have to call down a ship to fast travel from here. I think you can just open up your galaxy map and you could travel from that. But I just guess I'll show this off too. It's a menu that we can open up to see all of our starships, and there's a few of these all around the game, and you're going to be able to view the ships that you of course have unlocked here. So we're going to call down the one that sparked off the whole movie series and jump inside of it and then head on out of the hangar and go to Endor. Alright, briefly back in space. We'll just take a look immediately to the left so we can find the planet, and this time we have to actually travel through space to get to the warping area that'll lead us to the level. Not really sure why. Some places you can travel to from space very quickly, and other places you have to do this. But like I said, you might actually just be able to come straight here on the galaxy map, so maybe I should have done that, but that's okay. There's the start level, so we're going to open that up, and here we are on Endor with Leia and Luke, and we're going to have to go after the scout troopers. So we'll defeat a whole bunch of the scout troopers that are here, and then we're going to wait for the speeders to drop on in. At least they should soon. And this was another one of those levels that was super fun in the original LEGO Star Wars game, and was really not that fun in this one, and we'll see why in a few seconds here, or a few minutes. But first we just sit in one area, defeat all these scout troopers, and especially if you've played the original LEGO games, you probably remember this level, just how heavily forested it was, and all the... like, we got to do quite a bit more walking. In this one, we just kind of stay in this little area, fighting off a wave of enemies. There's not really any puzzles for us to solve here, like there was in the first game. And once enough of the scouts are dead, then the scouts on the speeders are going to drop down, and these guys are going to be super nice, and they're not going to learn their lesson from all of their dead friends, and they're both going to immediately die and then leave their speeders for us. So we're going to jump onto those, and now starts the entire rest of the level. Yes, we're going to spend the rest of the level on the speeder, and we have to defeat a certain amount of the enemies here. So right now it's 4 of these scout speeder guys that we have to beat. And what's really strange about this is that it really seems like whoever's in the back is the only one who's actually going to be able to defeat any of the scout troopers. So it's not actually good to be in front here, because there is going to be a part coming up where I'm in front. I think my brother dies on the right side. So the one on the left, who is me, is going to be the one in front. And I'm not going to have a single scout speeder to shoot for a really long time. So later on we kind of found that if that does happen, it's not actually a bad idea to die so you can get sent backwards and you can actually see them again, because otherwise you're just going to be in front of the scout speeders the entire level. And playing on co-op, that's not too big of a deal. I just don't really know how that shows up in single player, so I imagine in single player it's probably a little bit nicer. The scout speeders probably also show up in front of you in single player, but at least on co-op, once again, only one of you is really going to be able to do anything, because that's just sort of how they made the game this time. And other than that, it's this entire scene that we're seeing right now, just for the next like 2 or 3 minutes or so. And for that reason, I don't really have much reason to talk over it, so I'm going to take a risk getting another copyright claim. If the claim does come through, then the rest of the video will likely be muted, and either way, I will see you in the next one.